All right, there we go. Hey everybody, if you're watching this later, this is originally a Facebook Live video, and I'm doing this as a way to get the general concept of what the side quest is and what it's about. So, we're trying to do a little bit of movement every day in the amount of 1 to 5 minutes. You don't need to do it for a long time to get benefit, and we're trying to do this with 10 different categories, or side quests I call them, but we're only going to start with one right now. And for the next 2 weeks, I want you to do it every day, 1 to 5 minutes as a guideline. You could do a little bit more, but 1 minute would kind of be the minimum. And the idea is to just build consistency with practicing this movement so that you get carryover to other things, but you're also building a positive habit of just moving your body more. And that can turn into you doing other things that are, full-blown gym workouts. You start eating better. You look for opportunities to exercise when you don't necessarily have to. You try to take more walks. You try to, take a bike ride, using the stairs instead of the elevator, all those things. It's about a mindset shift. So doing these activities is beneficial in and of itself, but it's also about trying to build more healthy habits in your life. So we're starting with the side quest of balance. Balance means that you're challenging yourself in a way to not fall over, basically, and generally you're going to do that by standing, but it could also be with different handstand variations, although that is generally more advanced. So very, very basic idea. I want you to stand in a way that challenges you. I'm going to give you example drills or exercises that you can do as the weeks go on, or as the days go on, but just think of ways that you can challenge yourself to not fall over, but you're doing it in a safe way that lets you still be successful. So if your balance is really, really not great, just bringing your feet all the way together. Hopefully you guys can see my feet. I'm going to turn the camera angle down a little bit. If you bring your feet together, you're already challenging your balance more than if you're standing like this, because your base of support is smaller. If you can do this without too much effort, try bringing one foot in front of the other and touching heel to toe. This is like a tightrope position. This is a little bit tougher. You might feel like, okay, I'm not super stable here. This is a little bit tougher. If that isn't too much of a problem, then we can go on to one leg. And then if you're just static here and you don't need to do a lot of correction, then that's probably pretty easy too. So then the next thing you can try is moving dynamically. So while you're on one foot, see if you can move this leg a little bit. So one simple drill is one I showed you today. I don't have enough room to do the full thing, but extending the leg and then drawing a circle all the way around behind you. This isn't my way, but if I was able to move my leg all the way around behind me and then back in front while not falling over, that's an example of dynamic balance, because I'm not falling over while I'm moving something. Another drill that is with more upper body movement, I got this from a coach on YouTube, is to draw the alphabet with your fingers. So we interlace the fingers, and the pointer finger is where our imaginary pen is, and then we're going to draw the alphabet. So there's a capital A, capital B, C, and so on. So the movement of the arms creates a disturbance in my balance that I'm having to correct for using all the muscles in my body, especially my feet, ankles, and my core. And then there's plenty of other ideas that you can do with that, with those concepts. Standing statically, and then something moving. Then another way you can challenge your balance is by taking your eyes out of the equation. Not removing your eyes, but just closing them. If you wanted to, you could put on a blindfold if you are somebody that might cheat, but then you might also get hurt. So just closing your eyes is good enough, and then if you start to lose your balance, you just open your eyes and catch yourself. I have to say things like that because somebody might not do that and get hurt. So if I'm standing on one leg, let's say down a notch, put your feet together and close your eyes. You're going to feel your body start to sway, And that's because your body's trying to get a sense of where it is with stretch receptors, basically, that are in your ankles and in your calves. Not to get too nerdy, but your body's trying to find a different way to get feedback, because we get a lot of information through our eyes about our position in space. So once you close them, it tries to get that information somewhere else. Try standing on one leg with your eyes closed and see if you can do that. If you fall over, that's something you can benefit from and work on. But if you're having too hard of a time, if you can't do more than a couple seconds on one leg, come back to this tightrope, one foot in front of the other position. That's a little bit easier. It'll challenge you, but you can be successful. So taking the eyes out of the equation. Moving the head is another way that we can challenge another part of our balance. The inner ear, our vestibular system it's called, is another big part of balance. And we don't move our head around very much anymore. A lot of us are just kind of locked into, looking forward, unless you play sports. But when you're moving your head around, you're getting information in your brain about where you are in space from the movement of the head. But when you're having to balance and move your head, it's a lot harder, because we're disturbing now the vestibular system and you're moving your eyes. And that's taking some of that information away from your balance and making you work a lot harder too. So looking up and down while you're on one foot is going to be a lot more challenging than if I'm just standing here statically. Another level would be to combine those together. Try having your eyes closed and moving your head. Very, very difficult. So those are just some basic ideas to play with. I'll give you one more for dynamic balance. You can move from spot to spot and have to catch yourself, and that can start with something very simple like a single leg stance into a side step and then catch. And you don't want to turn it into like a speed skater like this, because I'm not really having to balance because I'm moving too quickly. So you want to stop and have to hold yourself and then move again. And then scaling this is about controlling the energy of your body. So if I make a bigger jump or a faster jump, start over here and make more of a hop and have to catch myself and not fall over, that's going to be harder than me just taking this tiny, tiny little step. I can also add a turn to that. If I'm here, I can do a hop in like a 90-degree turn, maybe even a 180. But let's try it now. And then catch, and catch, catch. So the movement and having to brace and absorb and not fall over is another great way to challenge your dynamic balance. So those are some ideas. There's a million and one drills. I'm going to be giving you different ideas each day. There's many, many variations of those different concepts. As the day goes on, I'm going to try to post a video every day, at least one, giving you ideas on balance, not just drills, but more about the concepts of why we're doing it and how it'll help you. And hopefully you'll join me on this little journey. So I will see you guys throughout the week. Let me know if this is helpful or anything specific you want to see, and I'll see you tomorrow.